Hey up troops, A Littleton here again with another video, and this time we're going to be talking about... That stings. I think there's a little camera in here, perhaps with a little laser or something like that. This time we're talking about the best Maestro setup. Maestro's a tough one for me at the minute because, like, back in the day, Maestro was insane, right? The ACOG on the 556 Elder, the cams were almost indestructible. Now with the changes where you can melee the glass, makes him a little bit weaker, and because of that, people don't play him as much. However, that Elder is still an absolute laser, even just with a hollow on there. And those gadgets are still really, really solid. You've just got to think about where you place them a little bit more. So you can't just bang a Maestro camera on 90 on Villa like you used to do 3 years ago. Times have changed. You've got to think about it a little bit more. And hopefully this video will help you do that. So I'm going to go through 5 maps, and I'm going to go through 2 sites on those 5 maps. So 10 in total. I'll show you some cam placements, a few things that you have to do alongside the cam placements, like make some lines of sight to make the cam more useful, etc, etc. I think that's enough waffling. Everyone's had enough of me talking. Let's get stuck into it. Chalet Basement, and this is one of my favorites out of all the ones I'm going to show you. Come up to this area here. Wait till you get the vault command. You sort of look slightly off the middle of this cabinet. It's quite easy to get the vault command. Over onto the chair. Pop the vase onto the table. Get your camera in this box here. First of all, it blends in pretty well. And I always say this, that we know it's there, but we do know it's there. But from the door, it's not the easiest thing to see that there. But the view you get from here, you can snipe any drones coming in. You can see the corridor down to Big Garage. You can also see the default plants all the way along here. Unbelievable spot, dead easy to do, and gives you so much info. The other one is dead simple, to be honest with you. There's nothing snazzy about this. It's just frustrating for attackers because they know this is here. Get it as high as you can. They know that's there, and from the breach, they can do nothing about it. So, from them attacking the breach here, they've got to either use grenades, a Gon 6, Zephyr Ash. They've got to use utility to get rid of that. They're not going to be able to go and melee it, obviously. But there's generally, there's generally a couple of ADSs on the wall here. So as soon as they try and use the utility to get rid of this, it's going to start soaking it up with those ADSs. It's just a great cam. Obviously, you're going to get great information. Let me move out of the way. That was stupid. I just stood right in front of the camera. You're going to see main stairs. You can't see any of blue, obviously, but you can see the breach. It's just a really, really good spot for a camera. Annoying to deal with. And the worst thing is, as well, when you're an attacker and you're stood here on the breach, right, and you know someone's on that cam, and it's just flashing red at you because the enemy's on the cam. They're just watching you. There's nothing you can do. But yeah, good spots. Onto Chalet Top Floor then, and what you want to do is vault onto this desk. I tend to just melee the shelves away because they can get a bit frustrating when you're trying to move around. What you want to look for is this diagonal beam. On the first edge of the diagonal beam here, put your camera as high up as you can, just in line with that. Make sure you don't shoot this plant out. We want this plant there. When you're on the breach now, as an attacker on the breach, it's not the easiest thing to see that camera behind the plant. You're certainly not looking for it. However, for us, as defenders, we can easily see... Ow. We can easily see attackers throughout there. We can also see, if this window is open, you can see out onto the balcony, out onto the mez. Sorry, out onto the balcony. And if anyone comes through the balcony door here, any drones that come through, we can get them as well. Obviously, it's going to get you the default plant on half wall. Just a really good place for a cam. Try and make sure you keep it hidden behind this tree, behind this plant, sorry, but don't go too close to the plant because otherwise you can't see much because the leaves get in the way. The other one is going to be over in Solarium. And you want to try and shoot this plant, get that one out of the way, vault up onto this angle here, put it as high up as you can out of the way. As high as it'll let you. And you want to get it high enough so you can't vault it from the floor. And it's awkward for the attackers to try and vault up there because you can't vault up the end here. You don't want to be turning your back and vaulting like this when you've got the angles to be getting shot from and getting worried about here. And then you can melee it from here, obviously. But you want to make it difficult for the attackers. They're not going to be walking over here trying to melee up here. Trying to vault up here, trying to get that out of the way. Because you can see how difficult it is to I keep saying melee. Why do I keep saying melee? To vault up, it can be tricky unless you line it up properly. So when you're in a rush and you're worried about defenders, yeah, it's just annoying there. But from there, you're going to be able to see, obviously, the Solarium windows, the drones that come up Solarium, importantly, and a bit into bedroom as well, but not much. But it's just going to give you that extra security other than the default camera over here in Solarium. So we're on to Cafe now, down here in the bakery, and one of these is absolutely great. There's 2 in the bakery that I'm going to show you and 1 inside, so you can choose which of the 3 you want to use. I think 2 are definitely better than the third, but I'll show you. So the first one, we jump up on this table. We use this chair as like a bit of a leg across onto the sideways bookcase. Now, bear in mind, it can take a couple of tries there. I've done that first time, so I've made that look really easy, but it can be messed up. Once we've got the camera on the wall here as high as you can go, drop down off the bookcase and punch out these 2 chairs. Once you've punched out the 2 chairs, it means the attackers can't get on that bookcase and they can't punch it out. Again, similar theme here. They're going to have to bring a Brava or use a Gon 6 or any kind of explosive to get rid of that. You can keep that up there, and quite often they won't even know, but the benefit of this is, you know, you normally make the feet holes like along here, and this is reinforced, and you'll get an ace charge put on here at the start of the round. Well, as soon as the ace charge goes on, you can just snipe it off. So that's the beauty of that. The reason why I like this more than the other one is that exact reason. So the other one that you see sometimes is you can vault onto this table, although if you approach it from the angle, it's much easier to vault on. If you try and get on from the side or from the front, it can be a bit tricky. So come on it from the angle. And then what you need to do is just sort of run into the corner, and you'll eventually end up running on top of the coffee machine. You can take a couple of tries. Oh my god, I've done it first time. This is unreal. And again, get this on the wall as high as you can put it. And when it's high up, the last thing attackers are going to want to start doing is messing about here, trying to figure out how to vault on this. I've just told you the secret. Come at it from the corner. But even when you come up from the corner, it's still difficult to melee, and you're just leaving yourself wide open to this door here. The last thing attackers are going to want to be doing is messing about on there, and you go, oh, what are you doing? Dead. So the reason why I prefer that other one is because you can't really get much from here. You can see it from the door, so it's easily destroyed, but you can't do anything with the prep wall. You can't really deny anything. You can barely see this wall. I just think this one's much better. It's hard. It's heated. I can't speak. I was going to say it's hidden and it's harder, and I've said neither of the two. It's harder to see for the attackers, and you can do more with it, is what I'm trying to say there. Right, if we can get this down and I can go into sight, I'll show you the other one in sight. Now, if I was any... There you go. See, it's not easy getting up there first time. If I was any good at video editing, I'd take this off and we'd just cut it, but we do everything in one take. So, this is the best two in my opinion. Leave that one there and come inside here. Need to shoot the fan, punch the plates, the boxes, and again, it's not these. Hello? I can't move that for some reason. But again, it's not the easiest thing to vault on this, but if you get just the right pixel. I tend to just sort of slam spacebar when I'm close and just hope that I hit spacebar at the time I'm looking in the right place. There we go. Again, run into the corner, get this as high up as you can go. It's pretty high. Again, attackers are not going to see that to begin with, and also it's really annoying. You used to be able to destroy this. I don't know if you just can't destroy it anymore. That never used to be the case. You used to be able to destroy that. But the reason you put that up there, and then what you want to do is make head holes along here, right? But you want to make head holes that are slightly higher than head height. And the reason for that is you don't want to be stood here and get domed from the door, but you do want to look into the other side. So if you make head holes about this high, all the way across the wall, and again, that will then allow this cam to see all the way across to the other side. You can see the freezer entrance, here. You can see if anyone's planting behind the bomb if you make that slightly lower there. Okay, it's a real art, this, because you don't want to go too low. I think that's probably just okay because you can't see your head there. You don't want to go too low. You don't want to make it a vaultable rotate. But again, you don't want it to be too high that you can't see over. There you go. That's much better, isn't it? You can see the door. You can see behind the bomb if someone's planting behind there. You can see car. You could see the walk-in. But again, it's not revealing too much for the attacker who stood on double door. Here, they're not going to see heads on the other side. Do you know what I mean? So there's a bit of an art to it. Don't go too low. I've always tried looking for like a bit of a reference point, but I can never really find one. I used to think this was a good reference point, but it needs to be higher than that. So like look at that and go sort of there, and then make the line across. This is probably a little bit too low here, but this is an ideal line really, so just slightly higher than that. But yeah, those two cams in this site, absolutely bob on. Shoot the speakers, lads. Right, we moved. I nearly missed that then. I literally just clipped the edge of it. Wow. So we moved upstairs now, and we're going to put a couple up here on this site as well. Now, there's two places you can put it on this site. You can put it over the speaker this side, but you've got to do a bit of tightrope walking across here and get it here. If it goes on the wall. Oh, there we go. Come on. I don't know why I'm doing that. Oh, come on, Andy. You're better than this. Come on. Come on, we can do this. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. Come on. I've done it a million times. Just put it on the wall. Okay, let's try again. All in one take, remember. Get it on the wall, Maestro. You're better than this, mate. No, you definitely... Come on, Maestro. That was close. There we go. Now, as you can see there, it takes a little bit of time sometimes. We've just found out you want to be aiming over the speaker, and then he's got more chance of getting on. The other one's exactly the same thing. Again, a bit of tightrope walking. It's easier if you go a bit slower than what I just did there. There we go. And this one goes over on the left-hand side there above the lamp. Much easier to put down. Now, there's a couple of benefits to putting them there. One, the light will disguise this to an extent. Obviously, the big black screen gives it away. This one, I think, is more hidden because anyone coming in from here isn't really going to see it. I think that becomes fairly obvious. This window here, the south window, is less common to be repelled on, which is where you'd see it from most. Obviously, if you're repelling on the west windows, you're not going to see this. I prefer this one. A couple of reasons as well. Because when it goes, when the ace or whatever it is tries to open these walls, you're going to be able to deny it as well. But you can just see a bit more of the floor. I don't know, I just prefer that one. I think it's you can't be seen from New Hatch as well. I've just noticed that. Like, you could see that from here. Like, you could Gon 6 that from, or Ash Charge that from way back here. So yeah, I definitely prefer the one on the right. Right, let's get that off the wall. Let's choose this one because it seemed much easier to get it off the wall. And let's go and show you the other one on the other side. This one's going on New Balcony or Heaven Balcony. It's going to be looking all the way across the side. This isn't hidden. This isn't hard to hit. This is fairly easy. You just vault up here and stick it above the light. There's not much to it. But it's just in a really good spot where it's annoying for attackers. You can do a lot of drone denial from dropping in from New Hatch. But you get a good view of pillar, top brown. You get a really good view of sight. You can't deny the default plan from here. But you can if you shoot out or impact out the cocktail there, which you should do that every round anyway. So if someone was planting behind there, you could see them there. You should do this every single round because this default plant here is so common to just tuck in and plant here. The same with the bar. Get rid of that on the bar. If you've got a shotgun this out every time because how common do you see people planted here and here? Get rid of that every time. But yeah, those two cams for me. That one just, gonna ping it? Yeah, just there. And then the one that we didn't take down there is better in my opinion. But a couple there for Top Floor Cafe. Okay, folks, we're on Oregon upstairs now, and this one's a little bit tricky, but we're going to get there. I actually included this in one of my first ever videos that I uploaded to YouTube like 18 months ago, so if you had seen this on there, then sorry, you're going to have to watch it again. So, what you want to do, and this is where it gets really tricky, punch the washing basket, punch the fan, punch the mug, and punch the coat stand that's in the corner. Once you've done all those things, you'll see there's like, on the lines of furniture, you'll see this line here. You want to be looking at this line, and then just move about a little bit from the corner. And eventually, you see, I've done that quite quickly. I never normally do it that quickly. There's one pixel or a couple of pixels that'll give you a vault command around that line. Hit the vault. I even have tried it a couple of times there, and I still can't find it again now. There we go. And once you're on there, stand up. Don't place it crouched because you're not going to be able to see what we want to see. But you want to come over to the left-hand side a little bit. Stand up and place it right at the top of the ceiling. This is going to give you a view of the default plant behind the games table, but also big window. So if somebody's on big window here and they're trying to hop in,
your location has been compromised.
You can see the head there, as well as if someone was peeking to the left-hand side, you just see the top of the head. It's a really good angle there, and obviously you can see anything on attic door and also the walk-in from trophy. The second cam you can put here. I don't always like to put it here because I think it's easily like shot and gotten rid of. But the thing is, if someone's on big window, they can see it easily. But no one from top white is gonna. I mean, I know we can see it there. It's obvious it's there, right? But when you get to top white and you're in the middle of a gunfight, it's the last thing you're looking at. But it gives you a really good angle on top white and on the big window jumping. Again, if you're on big window, it's going to take an explosive to get rid of that. It's difficult to come and punch. You're not just going to want to run through the site and punch it. It just gives you good info on... Now we've got info on this side of the map. It also gives you info here as well. It's really, really useful. We're downstairs on Oregon now, and there's not a lot of places you can vault and get decent Maestro cams down here that are out of reach. One that I like to do is just tucked in right here in the corner. I know it's incredibly obvious that it's there, but you wouldn't believe how many times it gets missed because it's down on the floor. I know, as I always say, we know it's there, so it's obvious to see, right? But you can see how that could blend in if you're in the middle of a gunfight. Yeah, it can be drone, but I think it's good. Gives you a decent view of the blue door and obviously the, or Shiko door, whatever you call it, and also the tower stairs. Now, the other one I like to do is a little bit more fruity, and it involves shooting out a bit of this bookcase here, or what this sort of kitchen cabinet. You can shoot all the way through. It takes a bit of time to do, but you can do it. Have faith. And again, keep going. Get rid of that bit as well. Like there. And if we put that down to look at the bottom of bottom main. Also then, go over to freezer and just a couple of feet holes here. Nothing too like drastic. You don't want to make feet holes all across all the way. But from there now, you'll be able to see the freezer stairs. And on the way down the freezer stairs, bear in mind, nobody's going to start proning this angle from here like this. If they do, they're dead anyway. But you still want to make your standard head holes. But anyone that comes down freezer stairs then can be seen as they come down. Ow. You could probably make this even a little tiny bit smaller, maybe just one hole there. But that means you can see bottom freezer stairs and bottom main from here, and it's pretty well hidden. On to bank then and starting in the basement, and the two cameras I'm going to show you here are not my original ideas, by the way. I saw these on a video ages ago. I can't remember who it was. Whoever it is, thank you for them because they're really, really useful. So punch these two monitors out here, then use your bailiff to get rid of these two computer cases. It only takes 2 shots. Just make a line of sight through there. You then want to place the camera in behind these flight cases. Get it as tight in there as you can. In fact, you can get it tighter than that, actually. There we go. The reason you put it down there is the attackers, as they're coming down blue stairs, don't see it in there. What you then got is once Thermite and Habana and everybody else, or Ace, that's trying to or use a hard breach charge to try and open this wall to plant in the default spot, which is just here, right here. That Maestro camera there, when I spin it around, is going to be able to get the Thermite charge or the Havana pallets or the Ace Selmas off that wall. Also, it gives you good information of someone who's about to push through into server as well. Sorry, from server. The other thing that you want to be doing is jump up onto this desk, shoot out this folder, and place a camera in the corner here. You don't want to go too far in the corner. I hope that's not too far in. No, that's fine. So from here, obviously, you've got that default plan, which is such a nightmare to try and prevent here. Like, it's so difficult. You can't stop it from here, but you really want to. You can make the line of sight from garage. If I've made that right, I don't think I have. Not quite. Hang on. Bear with me. You can use this line of sight here, and you can get like a pixel onto the head when they're planting there. The problem is with this, obviously, it means you've got to have garage clear, you've got to have bottom main clear. It's really difficult to end up defending from here unless it's just a full server push. But generally, you've got one lurker coming down main or coming through garage, and it's difficult to hold there. This camera, however, just gets rid of the need for that. It's really well hidden as well. If you're an attacker on this door, not the easiest thing to see. Like, especially from this door, you can't see it all. But from here, again, I'm going to use the classic. We know it's there, so it's easy to see, obviously. But as an attacker that doesn't know it's there, it's pretty difficult to see. And he just stops anyone who's going to sneak in, plan here. No, thank you. And don't forget, obviously, on the other cam, you got the information here as well. You can't quite see the plan. Oh, you kind of can see a knee. You can just about see the knee. It just depends on how they plan. But this one's more about getting information for blue and server and stopping the hard breach charge going off on this wall. And the second site for bank we're going to do is actually open area and kitchen. We're not going to do the upstairs one. There's a couple of good cams for upstairs, but the setup in here for Maestro is better than upstairs. So the first one's dead easy. We jump on this cabinet here, and we go and put this right at the top. This lets you see, obviously, all of kitchen double. You can see blue, you can see electrical, stop any drones. You can also see the entrance to the open area double door as well. Then this other one is really snazzy. This is actually really good, by the way. Taking Maestro out of the equation here. By the way, just hit the 2 lamps, hit these pages, and you can vault up here and then run along here. Taking Maestro out of the equation for a second, you can put anything up here. You can put Malusi Banshees up here. You can put anything that you need to get up to deploy. And if you're holding, I don't know if you watched the holding open area with Castle Strat that I did the other day, but you can do that with Malusi. You can put a Banshee up here, or you can put a Maestro camera. You can put anything up there by jumping up there, and you can hold open area when you're defending downstairs. I really recommend it. So what that camera gives you is the drop from the hatch here. You can see any drones that come in from the single window. Obviously, you can see what it... Why do I go through what the camera sees? Like, you can literally see what the camera sees. I don't know why I go through that. But anyway, 2 great cameras for this setup. This site's a little bit underrated. You have got to roam on this site. You've got to make sure you've got people off site. You can't just bunker down here. But it's a really solid site that doesn't get played enough. I think this is the strongest site on Bankand Pro League. And there's a reason for that, because once you set it up properly, it's decent. The problem is, you need like a 5-stack who are properly coordinated and know what they're doing to make it good. But I really like playing here. First things first, folks, let's shoot the radio. Right then, if we're looking at Clubhouse, first thing I'm going to look at is upstairs. Nowadays, because of the melee change with Maestro cameras, if you can get a Maestro camera over a hatch, it's always going to be good. If you can get this in the corner here, and then shoot out the hatch. Kind of like what people do with Villa. You can now watch most of construction. You can see the CCTV window from here, and no defender, or sorry, no attacker can get a knife the Maestro cam. The only way of getting rid of this is an explosive or a Bravo cam. The other one you can do then is over here, where you want to get up on the money, and then just do a bit of running at a funky angle. Ooh, there we go. And you can put it on the top here. Once it's up there, if you then get rid of the fan, and if you shoot the money out, better than I just did. Try again. No attacker can get up there to knife it now either. So again, it can only be bravado or use explosives used to get rid of that one up there. And whilst we're on Clubhouse, it would be rude if we didn't head down here to the basement. And this is one I never ever see. But you can actually get it on the wall just here. You need to go up to this cabinet here, vault up, sort of shimmy along, and just keep holding mouse 1 until it lets you put it down. It goes down in the corner there. It sort of blends in with the weapons. So it's not something anyone ever looks at. But if you look at the angle you get from this, obviously you're going to be able to watch the dirt walk in. You're going to be able to watch the drop from the hatch there. You can see blue door. You can't see church door, unfortunately. But if you make the rotate that you would normally have here, I'm going to do this quite roughly, but you're going to get my point. If that was made properly, you'd be able to see a little bit of long corridor as well. It gives you a lot of viewing angles, and obviously, as you can see, it doesn't really stand out that much. It blends in with the rest of the weapons. The other one is an absolute classic. I really like this one. It takes a little bit of practice to figure out the angle to get on the jukebox. I've done it first time. I'm absolutely unbelievable at this. And from there now, obviously no attacker can melee that. I'm going to make a sort of thing about this, but again, you want to get these cameras in places where they can't just be meleeed. You want to make it difficult for attackers to get rid of them. Again, take a Bravo. You've got to take explosives to get rid of them. And this gives you a good view, a decent view as well. You can see all the moto, obviously the moto drop. You can see everything that's going on in church. The blue rotate if it was here, which would go here. Be able to see the walking from there. But I mean, as far as cameras go, right? One cam there and one cam there. What information do you need now? You've got any drones coming out of moto, any drones that come through blue, all the drones that come through dirt, kitchen, hatch. It literally covers these sites. It's so, so good. So there we have it. Maestro isn't dead. Maestro is very much alive. You've just got to think about where you put those evil eyes before you place them down. I say this every time. This channel is nothing without those that watch it. That is you. Thank you for watching it. If you watch this video for 10 seconds or 10 minutes or however long this video ends up being, I don't know because I haven't edited it yet when I'm recording this part. Thanks for watching it. I really appreciate it. Just cheers. There's not much more to go into that. Thanks for watching. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers!